Hi again, everyone. I'm Ollie Matthews. This is the Narcissistic Resistance, and this resistance video is sponsored by contributions from Lisa, and here's her story. Hi, Ollie. I just sent a donation. It's been a while since I wrote. I've had a lot to come to terms with and couldn't even listen to your videos for the last 3 months. Now that time has passed, things are getting a bit easier, and I'm ready for my next assignment to fix some of the broken pieces of my life in the pursuit of happiness. As a recap, you've done a few videos for me. Some of them are at the bottom of this email. I've been a scapegoat all my life and have a golden child sister. Last year, my narc sister Christine sent a nasty threatening letter copied into all my family. The police cautioned her, and I have not heard from her since. As a child, my mother did nothing to help me and my sister get along and never stopped Christine from hurting me until I got old enough to hit back. Then my sister's abuse turned psychological. Christine has now turned her attention to getting grandparents' rights since her daughter Laura went no contact 2 years ago. As an update, she is now taking Laura to court. How grandparents' rights can override the rights of their adult child and their own children, I have no idea. Yeah. In this country, and I believe you're in the UK, if I have this, if I remember you, I believe you're in the UK. I don't know what it is over there, but yeah, I mean, it is starting over here where grandparents are starting to talk about grandparent rights. If a parent cannot behave in a way that makes their own child feel loved and respected, then why on earth can the courts expect their grandchildren would be treated well? Sadly, you know only all too well how these things turn out. My niece is putting together a strong case against her mother, who is a teacher, and the case includes being sacked from a school. Yeah, you're definitely that's right, you are in the UK. From a school for hitting a child, among many other incidents. I'll keep you posted on how this all turns out. Wasn't the mother also trying to bring this to Parliament? Was that your story as well, I think? Meanwhile, another problem is getting worse, and I'd like to ask for your advice. The dynamics of the family are shifting fast, and people are trying to jostle for position. My mother recently had a bust-up with her sister, who lives close by and now has no contact with any members of her family apart from me and my niece. This includes my narc sister, who gradually stopped visiting since my mother had to have special operations over the last few years. So I have taken on the responsibility of taking care of my mom when she needs it. I live 150 miles away and have a demanding job, so this is difficult. I have hardly mentioned my mom on my previous videos because it's a difficult topic for me. My mom and dad split up when I was 1.5 years old. He was controlling and violent, and she took us to live in a one-room place so we were safe. We went to live in the U.S., leaving my mother to raise us with very little money or support. Oh, wait, that's right. He went to live in the U.S. leaving my mother to raise us with very little money or support. She took responsibility for us, so I feel I should take responsibility for her. That's right, and I believe he married some narked out piece of shit. Piggy Wiggy, I think you called her. I don't have bad memories from the very early years, but I do remember being smacked and yelled at a lot from the age of 6. She used to like to use a tennis bat or similar, so bruises were left. More than anything, I felt like I must be a dreadful person for her to do this to me. I have only just discovered that my mom was pregnant at this time and gave up the baby for adoption. She has never spoken about this to anyone since it happened, and I found out by chance. Perhaps she got angry at the injustice of the situation and took it out on us. She would hit my sister too. My sister learned how to play the victim and got my mother's sympathy, while I slowly became the scapegoat from the age of 8 or 9. Growing up, my mother was controlling and angry most of the time, but it can't have been an easy life for her. At age 15, I got pregnant, and she was furious with me and threatened me if I told anyone. Probably close to home for her. The whole abortion experience was traumatic, and it always is. My sister just took the piss out of me, and the nurses treated me like a whore. I left home age 17 and got involved with several narc boyfriends. Each one ended badly for me as they stripped me of my money and confidence. My mother has never been there for me when these things happened. I just sorted myself out on my own. Then I married Nick quite quickly after meeting him 15 years ago. I was love bombed. He attacked me on honeymoon, and when we got back home, he slowly turned into a crazy narc. Eventually, 6 police officers dragged him out of my house within 3 months of the wedding. It was the worst time of my life. Meanwhile, my mother wouldn't talk to me, but was in constant contact with him. They used to flirt with each other quite overtly. My mother supported him without knowing anything about what happened from my side. He used to spend weekends with her, telling her a pack of lies about me. And you're taking care of this bitch? I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't know if I said it to you, Lisa, but I might have said it in regards to your father. They made their deathbed. Let him die in it. Why are you going out of your way to help this evil woman? My mother told all the family this nonsense, and none of them spoke to me after that, even though they all came to the wedding. My daughter, aged 10 at the time, was so angry that she wrote her grandma a plain truth email. Then my mother stopped speaking to both of us for 3 years. I made a huge effort to get back in her good books over a 2-year period, putting up with her rudeness, like hanging up the phone and being ignored when I visited. Finally, she decided to start talking to us about 10 years ago, but there has been a price to pay. There always is. Neither of us enjoy visiting her every month. Last weekend, she actually pulled my hair because I was talking to someone else, and she said she was tired of seeing the back of my head. Well, that should have been met with the front of your fist. Don't you ever put your fucking hands on me as an adult? No. See, and that's my big fear of going back to New Jersey. One of them is going to put their fucking hands on me because they can. And when they do, they have no respect for you ever, Lisa. Right here, you're there trying to take care of her, and she's pulling your fucking hair. Let her die in the bed. Let her die alone. Fuck her. It was only for 10 minutes, and there were other people she could have spoken to instead. I have buried a lot of resentment about the way I've been treated by her over the years. I wish I had not got back in touch with her and stayed no contact. It doesn't negate your no contact. You can still go no contact. It would have been an ideal opportunity to cite this as a reason. You don't need to give her a reason. If you cut her out, she would already know the reason. Are you kidding me? She don't need a reason. I know it would be better for us if we go no contact, but I feel guilty for even thinking about it. Don't think about it, do it, Lisa. She had no one else to help her, and she made it that way. She made her bed, let them die in it. I don't want my niece to get sucked into the hole I leave either. That's up to your niece. That's your niece's problem. She's an adult. You can't be worried about why are you going to help this woman? She had enough on her plate. So do you. Stop worrying about putting other people's feelings ahead of your own. This woman has done nothing to deserve any type of she's made her deathbed. Now let her die in it. While she hasn't been a good mom, she hasn't been as bad as many of the mothers I hear about this on this channel either. Here we go with the Lisa, you've been around my channel for way too long to be falling into making comparisons of story to story. Broken plate, Lisa. You're the plate. I take you and smash you. No matter what, you'll never be the same. It doesn't matter if you're broken in half, in 4 pieces, or 1,000,000 pieces. You're broken just the same. She's cold and selfish, and she frightens me. Sometimes she's very rude, but I never defend myself. I don't think she loves me or even likes me very much. I give her lots of nice things and take her to lovely places, but it's never good enough, and it never will be good enough. Because by never being good enough, you're always going to keep trying to please her. She emails me every day and expects a phone call every weekend and a visit every month. Frankly, it's getting me down, but going no contact will probably make me feel worse. Thanks, Ollie. Tried to keep this short, but it's all very complicated. Your advice is very much appreciated. Best wishes to you and Charlene. Hope you get technology sorted out, Lisa. Well, it's sorted. This isn't complicated at all. This is very simple. You know you want nothing to do with this woman. You know she doesn't deserve your attention, your love, or your time, nor does she appreciate any of it. Any of it. What do you have to feel guilty about other than she would have done you a favor if she gave you. You know what? The child she gave away for adoption, the child she gave away from adoption probably had it better than you. She really gave a shit. She would have given you all away for adoption. She didn't give you that option, though, did she? She was older. No, she made you go through an abortion, which never works out well for women. Changes them every time. Most regret it, and the ones that don't double and triple down on it because they can't deal with the guilt. They think by keeping it legal keeps it moral, keeps it right, and it doesn't. This isn't complicated at all, Lisa. Your mother made her lifetime bed of narcissism. Let them die in it. You're not her savior. When has she been? When has she ever been yours? Never. No matter what you do, no matter what you say, no matter where you take her, no matter what you give her, it's not going to be good enough. Why? Because if it ever is good enough, she's afraid she won't get it again. And that's all she cares about. She will use you up for everything she can get out of you until she dies or puts you in an early grave. Not your problem, Lisa. So I hope that helps. Sorry you couldn't watch for 3 months, but I understand needing a break. I didn't think you were gone that. I didn't really think you were gone that long. It seemed like I thought when I saw your story come in, I'm like, oh, okay, another one from Lisa. I didn't put in that it would have been a long time at all, so don't worry about that. And listen to what I'm telling you. You owe her nothing. She made her narcissistic bed. Let her die in it. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any opinions or advice in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, a narcissist you'd like to expose, you'd like to set up a Skype, phone call, have a private video made, or a Facebook chat, or you'd like to sponsor a video like this for someone who needs help and can't afford it, or just sponsor, make a contribution to the channel in general, you know what to do with the PayPal and email links in the description box. And if you're still unclear, wait for the instructional video link to pop up on the screen at the end of this video to walk you through all of that. Please like and share this video wherever you can. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Be sure to click the subscription bell to be notified of all my video uploads. I'm Ollie Matthews. This has been the Narcissistic Resistance. Take care.